What's up, guys? Ryan here from Hardway. We got the car back from paint yesterday. It is not completely painted, so we're going to show you guys that. We're actually on our way, loading the trailer up right now to go to Scheid's diesel extravaganza. Hopefully this video gets released before that, and if you're watching that video and you don't have plans to go to that race, make plans to go. It's time for a new cover. In the other video, the first video, that was the first video, right? So the first video we talked about not really sure how to make the boundaries, not really sure what to do. We talked about what color we wanted it to be. And this is exactly 100% how I wanted it. Herbie knocked it out of the park. So this is that semi-gloss, satin, black, whatever you want to call it. The whole chassis is painted that way. So you got every bar, everything is painted as far as the chassis goes. So we had to do something immediately because this is Florida and anything that was exposed was already starting to rust. A lot of people think that I kept the white roof because of the pictures that you could kind of see. The whole car is going to be blue. We are not going to do a vinyl top. We're not going to do a white top, just a blue car. We had the axle from Powder. We dropped it off at Powder. I had very specific instructions to them to not coat the bearing surface, not coat some certain things, but what they did is they left the whole sealing surface where the third member bolts in raw. And I had a pretty good internal debate with myself as to whether or not I was going to leave it raw or maybe have my buddy Herbie just paint it so it would match, but I figured I don't want to rush this build, and I decided the right answer was to pull it back out and have them redo it correctly. So we got the Powder, or got the rear end from Powder. We installed it enough to get the car off of Herbie's lift and bring it here, and then I took it back out and dropped it off at Powder this morning. So hopefully when we come back from Scheid's, the transmission will be done. I can pick that up and install it. If I get the rear end back at the same time and I can acquire a third member from somewhere, that means I can have all the measurements in place, or enough pieces in place that I can order the drive shaft. The drive shaft, we're going to use a PST carbon fiber drive shaft. They're a few weeks out. I don't want that to be a holdup, so I want to get that measurement in and to them really quick. We weren't really sure what we wanted to do until it kind of started going together. Herbie and I decided to paint this blue. This is the hump per se, so this is blue. This is the same color as the outside, however it is not cleared gloss. It's a flat clear, or a satin clear. And the panels that I was going to leave black, we decided to do blue as well. It turned out really, really nice. And then on top of that, Herbie started sending me pictures of the factory dashes and how they had like the black on the top and they were two-tone. So I actually have a dash piece that slides into here and clips in. It's a carbon fiber piece. And we're going to two-tone that as well with clear and raw carbon on the top. And it should really tie this whole interior together. All right, steps from here with the car. Drivetrain and wiring. There's obviously the car has no windows. The car has none of the carbon installed in the back. The first things that we got to do, I've got a junk Cummins block that we're going to install. Freedom Racing Engine sent me a cylinder head that has an intake on it they want me to use. It's a really good intake. However, I'm kind of worried about fitment because it sticks out so far, and without testing it, I flat out have no idea if it'll fit or not. I've got the battery tray bolted in, but I got to do all the 12-volt wiring from the switch and all that stuff all the way up through here. So ideally, what we're trying to accomplish with the car is I want to have the complete transmission, drive shaft, engine, manifold, turbo piping, all of it, all the way installed in the car and functional. And then we're going to take all that stuff back out, take the turbo piping up to Freedom Racing Engines, or Fleece Performance, same building, and we want to throw it on the engine dyno with the actual piping and the way I'm going to have everything set up exactly in the car. From there, we will basically reassemble the car again, this time hopefully for the final time with the correct engine. It'll actually have a torque converter in it, it'll actually have the drive shaft in it, and it'll be ready. Once the car runs, drives, moves under its own power, it's going to go back to paint. Herbie's going to have to sand and block the car, get some of the overspray, and just clean everything up. Once we get the car all the way sprayed with the final coat of paint, we'll then go in, put the windows in, put the carbon in, and that'll be the final time that we assemble it and hopefully get ready to go test. All right, wheels and tires. I originally said I was going to switch to RC Comp. I love the RC Comp wheels and tires. However, I have fallen in love with these Weld Alphas, and my OCD will not let me switch brands. Like, I don't want to have RC Comps on the front and Welds on the rear. I wouldn't even be able to sleep at night. And I am going to keep these, throw some new tires on it, of course, before we go racing, but I'm going to keep these and I'm going to switch them over to 17-inch polished V-Series. So very similar looking wheel. A little more stuff going on. I think maybe these come up and divide instead of being straight across like the full throttles. And I'm going to do polished fronts to match the polished barrels back here. And I think with the blue and everything I'm trying to do with the outside of the car, it should really pull it all together. All right, we talked about bumpers. They're carbon fiber. I want to do chrome. My buddy Herbie, my paint guy, said that he's got a process he wants to try. So he's going to invest in the equipment, and we're going to see how his chrome, like a spray chrome type process with a nice clear over top, works out. And hopefully if it turns out really good, then when he does the front end, he'll be able to do the front bumpers and mask it all off and clear all over it, and it'll look really nice. So we're headed to Scheid's Diesel Extravaganza. I'm actually leaving tomorrow morning. It's only Monday, but I'm leaving on Tuesday morning. I've got a class to teach on Wednesday, Thursday, so we're kind of on pause with the car right now. We've got some stuff at powder coat. We've got waiting on the transmission to show up. Not a whole lot we could do right this minute anyways, so the car's going to be, we're going to throw a cover under it and get back to this next week.